Hello, Polly's Best for UK here, and welcome to today's Game of Day video. Now, these two versions of this game, or these two ways you can load it at least, there's the 48 and the 128. But because I've found it so impressive, I thought I'll do it on the least powerful system out the two. Well, they're both the same power really, but yep, this is 1982 Sinclair Researchers' a Spectrum 48 original rubber key model emulated here. So let's load up Stunt Car Racer by... What's it for? I can't remember now. Let's just load it up anyway. So Stunt Car Racer. There it is. So we've got the four. Yeah, so there's two different versions, and you. Oh, it's got Pete Cook in it. So it's a Pete Cook game. That's pretty cool. So no, that's not very good controls, is it? I'm gonna go for Sinclair joystick. Yep. Press fire to continue. Right. So just like on any Stunt Car Racer game, you've got to type in your name. Is it gonna fit? Now it ends there. Oh, that's a shame. Buddy's a Bez. So you, on the 16-bit versions and the DOS version, I don't know about DOS version actually. On the 16-bit versions, like the Amiga and IST, you've got pictures of the other drivers and stuff, but not on this version, of course. So yep, let's practice. Now I'm going to do my favourite track for this game today, and that's the roller coaster. So as you can see, yep, it's converting pretty well to the ZX Spectrum. I mean, you have to consider this is running on the limited hardware, the ZX Spectrum, and look how quick that draws on. This is a non-accelerated Spectrum, just stock Spectrum. Right. How good is that? Look at that, that's really cool. So obviously the frame rate's not going to be quite what the Amiga is, etc. But this is pretty playable, to be honest, in my opinion. So let's wait for it to drop off. Here we go. So you have to bear in mind this is running on a 1982 ZX Spectrum, and it's very playable. It isn't the best frame rate in the world, but if you could compare this to like the Freescape system, like what did Castle Master and Driller and games like that, this is very smooth compared to that. Obviously it's doing less work because this is vector graphics, where that was 4 polygons sort of thing. Well, I don't know if it was 4 polygons, but yeah, this is really playable. I mean, are you if you've never saw the Spectrum version, are you impressed that this is actually running at all? Because when I first saw this, so I didn't play the Spectrum game first, I played like the Amiga. No, sorry, I played the Commodore 64 version first, and the Commodore 64 is, I don't know, is it slightly more powerful than the Spectrum? Whoa, we're flying now, look at this. We're flying, Jack! Whoa. But yeah, they've really done a good job of getting this working on a Spectrum. I mean, to me, this is really impressive, especially for the time. Obviously, these days, someone's done it actually. Someone's managed to get it running on BBC Micro or BBC Master, I think it is actually, and which is even less powerful than the Spectrum. But yeah, as you can see, it's running really. It does actually. It might look a little bit slow if you're not used to slow frame rate games, but this is actually very playable. I know there's not a lot of colour in the environment, but yeah, I think it plays really well. I honestly do. It's very impressive for what it is. I think if you saw I think back in the day, say early 90s, mid 90s, you saw your mate's Amiga version of this, and then you found this version in a local Boots or whatever, WH Smith or whatever. You took it on for your Spectrum because you didn't quite have the Amiga yet, and then you took this home and you played it. I think you would have been very happy with the outcome. Yeah, true, it doesn't look as good as the Amiga, but as you can see, it's getting a nice speed on now. So I think this is a very, very decent port, and I think they've really done the Spectrum justice here, because you wouldn't think the Spectrum could cope with something like this. Oh shit, I've just gone off the track. It will slow down, of course, when you're falling off the track. I mean, that takes a lot of processing power for the old Z80 CPU. But yeah, what do you think of Stunt Car Racer? I think it's absolutely superb, and even the multiplayer, the where you're playing against the AI is included as well. It's all there. The 128k version is exactly the same, apart from it's got AY sounds instead of this sort of engine noise you can hear now. That's another point about the game as well. I think it's very impressive that they've managed to include some sound. because a lot of 48k games, they did it with the memory constraints, that they didn't include the sound. Look at games like Fantastic World Dizzy, for example. There's absolutely no sound in that whatsoever on the 48k, not even a Spectrum beeper sounds or anything. But they've managed to get it all in there, all the tracks, and yep. So in that regard, I think you're gonna appreciate that. I'm gonna give this a high score, and it's no surprise probably to a lot of my long-time viewers that I'm gonna be giving Stunt Car Racer on the ZX Spectrum a massive 10 out of 10. Absolutely superb. Well done, Jeff Crammond, whoever designed it and ported it. And thank you for watching. Round of applause for that, actually. 10 out of 10.